a guy was flying me to Melbourne to preach. First time anybody flew me anywhere to preach. And it was a big deal. And on the plane going down, I was a bit bored sitting in a plane. And I said, oh God, if only the word of knowledge was easy. And a thought popped into my head, sure right knee. I thought if only it was that easy. And I wrote it down on the back of an envelope that I had in my Bible. And then another thing popped in, another thing. And I was writing these down, saying, God, if only it was that easy. But I was enjoying myself just being with Jesus and writing these things down. I filled up both sides of the envelope. I had no more room, so that was the end of that sort of game. I got there that night and I got up to speak, and I usually am well prepared and I have notes and whatever else. And I got up to speak, I announced my subject, and my mind was as blank as it is possible for a human mind to go. I apologized, because it was all I could think to do. And I re-announced my subject to sort of help me get over this terrible start as a visiting ministry. Again, it was like something sucked my mind dry. It wasn't a hard job, actually, but it was sucked dry. I could not think of a word to say. I noticed the pastor was moving forward on the front row, and I said to myself, he's getting ready to throw me out. The third time I announced my subject, and the third time it happened. And a little voice inside of me, or a thought inside of me, said, the envelope. And my head said, you're in enough trouble now. Don't do that. But you haven't got long, like a few seconds seems a long time when you're in a situation like that. Especially with a pastor, you could see he was getting a bit itchy. And I found that I didn't intend to do it, but my head lifted up, and I said, obviously God doesn't want me to preach, and my head was saying, you're an idiot, you're going to look a big fool. But my mouth was keeping on talking, and I said, on the way down, God was telling me things about you. I said, you're making it up, you're making it up. And all this war was going on in my head, almighty man of faith, of paste and flour. And I read off the first one, and God in his grace and mercy helped me. And a man in his 50s leapt to his feet, and he said, that's me. Oh, God, I was relieved. But then he started to come out, and he was going like this. And I said, God, he's hobbling. They'll all see him hobble back. If only he wasn't hobbling, I could have got away with it. Now, I'm just wanting to tell you, you couldn't be worse than this starting. And some you're going to start tonight. If you're worse than that, you're pretty bad. Well, I prayed for him. And to my utter amazement, he hit the floor like a rocket. It never happened in that church. Nobody had hit the floor ever, like a rocket. He leapt back to his feet, flicked his leg around, and said, I'm healed, and said in a loud voice, an evangelist's dream he was. It was God's mercy to me. And so I had to make a decision. Will I risk my luck with the second one, or will I quit while I'm ahead? But the thought of going a blank mind was so horrific that I read the second one. And both sides of that envelope, every one of them was there, and they all came out. And to my knowledge, they all got healed. It was a wonderful night. Well, then I shared for a little while. The meeting was over, and the pastor was treating me with great respect. He took me out and he opened the door of a car for me. Nobody had ever opened the door of a car for me before. And I got in his car. And when he sat in, he wrecked my night. I was having a wonderful afterglow of God doing this wonderful thing. And he looked at me and he said, "How long have you been moving in the power like that, Clark?" And I said, "Oh, not long." He said, then the next statement wrecked me. He said, "There'll be a big crowd here tomorrow night." I said, "Oh, why?" He said, "News of this will get around. We'll hardly pack them in the doors." I said, "God, you've got me in a terrible hole here. They expect me to do it again." That's how I began ministry in the power of God.